Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sant.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 17, Decision Day.
Mm-hmm.
It was only Decision Day for two couples, so those are the two couples we're going to talk about in this video.
Yeah.
Thomas and Camille, and Carla and Juan.
Mm-hmm.
Their decisions, were they the right decisions? Are they lasting decisions? You guys' thoughts, our thoughts. So let's get into it. Camille and Thomas is what I expected. I did expect them to say yes at decision day. I do feel like Camille had some valid points, concerns, whatever. I didn't want those to get glossed over because we were looking at an absolute crap show with the rest of the couples for the most part. But she did have some valid concerns that she expressed about him in terms of his assertiveness, complacency, just things that would, I guess, tend to make her doubt his leadership ability, would you say?
I think that's a good word.
Yeah. But she didn't let it hold her back. I was kind of happy to see her just make the progress that she did during the course of the season. We have not spent a lot of time talking about them, but I haven't ignored what was going on. We just had to put out the fires that were blazing and talk about those. So I'm interested to hear you guys' take, and of course my husband's, about what her concerns were. And do you feel like going forward in their marriage is going to present problems, or will they make it in the long run?
Great stage to walk out on from there. I wasn't surprised that both of them said yes. They were definitely, this is a relative word, the strongest couple out of all the couples this season. The most consistent by far, and they were the only couple to consummate their marriage, their wedding vow. So I wasn't too surprised that both of them said yes. Will her pointing out some of his flaws as far as his leadership qualities or capabilities, will that hinder them? It could, if they don't discuss them and continue to discuss them and allow him to grow with them. He seems like a highly capable, highly intelligent man, and it seems like he cares about her. So with that basis, I think them having those conversations, those much needed conversations, for her to voice what she's seeing a lack of, and him to be able to hear it and to be able to respond to it. I don't think it's a quick fix for that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be some continued growth over time, over some years. And but I think if they continue to put that best foot forward, I think they can work through it. What about you?
I have concerns because he's 42.
Yeah.
He's not a baby by any stretch. And he's lived his life being as complacent as Camille perceives him to be. I am concerned that he will just have challenges, like meeting the expectations that she may already have, and that eventually it might start to wear on him and her both if it's a big deal. It may not be a big deal. I feel like they still have fun. I feel like they still enjoy one another. I still feel like, they respect one another. So it may not be as big of a challenge, but I do feel like it could be. And I feel like there could be big ticket items coming up that cause a big hiccup in their relationship. Like, they need to figure out where they're going to move. She's been asking for weeks for him to take the lead in terms of that, and he still hasn't done it. So if he's consistently showing her that, my default, my comfort zone is complacency. You know, you figure this out. She said it more than once. She wants to be able to take her foot off the gas. She doesn't like taking the lead all the time. But if that's the dynamic that they set up between the two of them, it may be hard to navigate away from as time goes on and on and on.
Sure.
And, you know, what result does that have if they want to have kids? Does she have the confidence? Does she have the faith in him to procreate with this man who she feels like is not a leader or doesn't step up? I could see it being a problem.
When you put it that way, yeah, it could be, but I don't know. It seems like as serious, possibly, or non-serious, possibly, that situation could be. I'm just going by what they've been able to display. Was it resolved? No, it was not resolved, but they were able to have the dialogue.
Yeah.
And that's a start. So she wasn't afraid to voice. She let him know, and she let him know in a respectful way, to the point to where he was receiving it. And I think in that conversation when they were out to dinner, I don't think he truly got it. I think he kind of deflected it just a tad bit. You all help me out if you felt the same way. And I ask you if you felt the same way. If you kind of deflected that a little bit, or kind of like gave an excuse a little bit.
He made it both their thing. He's like, yeah, well, you know, like, please forgive me because I am going to paraphrase. It was days between us watching and doing this video, but, you know, essentially like, yeah, it's something for us both to work on, like putting it in both of their buckets rather than in his. Yeah. And that may be okay in the short term. Yeah. A lot of things in the honeymoon phase are okay in the short term, and then, you know, as time progresses and he doesn't make progress, then she may get frustrated with that. Yeah. You know, she looks to herself as being kind of like a leader and ambitious, and you can tell that she is. She's talking about like things that when they took the flashback video of her talking about her career and him saying, you know, well, when I was your age, this is not even something that I was thinking about. Well, you're your age and it doesn't seem like it's something that you're thinking about. And I'm not saying that is a problem for everyone. I'm saying it's a problem for Camille. Yeah. And, you know, at 42, are you making these changes in your life, or are you comfortable with where you are and, you know, what you're doing, and you don't want to be too pushed out of that comfort zone? That's okay, that's understandable, but it might not be okay for them. Can he do it? Probably he can. Will he do it is another question.
I think he can. Given enough conversation, given enough time, I think that he can do it. But again, I like the conversation because she said it, she voiced it. And it's hard to fix something when you don't know what's broken. Right. And so to have an expectation of him and not voice it, but then yet be expecting for him to do X, Y, and Z.
That would be worse.
Yes.
That would be worse. And then they probably wouldn't have gotten to a yes at decision day either. Yeah. If she wasn't able to kind of voice her concerns and he be receptive to them. Exactly. So.
Exactly. And we're all human. So Camille, keep talking to him. You know, and as those leadership situations come up, and if he's trying to take the back seat, say, hey, you know, I'm looking to you. You're my husband. You know, what we doing here? You know, and I don't know. I think that would give him kind of like that platform to kind of like step out on it.
Yeah, it would, but I would just then be concerned if she would have the confidence. Like, if he doesn't have the confidence in himself, then she's not going to have, like, a lack of confidence doesn't compel confidence from other people, you know? So, but, you know, we'll see. This is the only couple that we can be happy about for married at first sight. But, I mean, that's not entirely true. I am happy still for Carla and Juan. Because I feel like they made the right decision, and because I feel like they didn't walk away from the situation bitter and, angry or damaged. I'll say. Like a lot of couples this season and seasons prior, they can't seem to walk away with a no at decision day. Some do, but a lot don't walk away with a no at decision day and be okay with it and still seem very cordial, very pleasant with one another, not in any way like scorned or just coming away with a negative feeling. I don't feel like they had that or they display that. Now, I guess we'll see if they get to the reunion and it's something different. But all I've seen from them is a mutual respect for one another, but an apparent incompatibility. And I can appreciate when there's an incompatibility and the couples try and they work through this whole process and they come to a no at decision day. More power to you.
Yeah.
Because they made the right decision. They're not a good match. Carla is too tree huggy or whatever you want to call it. And I just don't think that Juan has the confidence that she's as much of a business person or responsible or anything. I don't necessarily think that she's flaky like my husband thinks that she is, but I could see how she's perceived that way. I don't think that she's looking to use him or anything. I wasn't sure about that at the beginning. They were presenting kind of like this airhead image of her. I do not think that Carla is an airhead whatsoever.
No.
She's very perceptive.
Yeah.
She's opinionated. She's spot on with her perceptions and her opinions.
Yeah.
And no, I think she's an intelligent person who has every ability to achieve what she wants to achieve. I think that people look at her and get a certain stereotype in their head, and it can be very off, very wrong. Maybe Juan had that, maybe he couldn't shake it, or maybe there was something else. Maybe it's honestly the crystals and the incense and the burning and the things like that, because that would work on my nerves too. I'm not gonna lie, like that would be a little bit much for me.
Yeah.
And he did say that to her. She kind of got a little bit defensive about it, but not in like a very negative way.
Yeah.
But I think that conversation was enough to make her know for certain this isn't it. Because he doesn't really appreciate what's going on and what is respectful right now, and has a good positive tone and vibe to it.
Yeah.
3 years from now, it may not be that way.
Yeah.
So they, in my opinion, you guys let me know what you think. I think they made the right choice. And they made it in a classy way.
Yeah. Neither one, like you said, both came out unscathed. And I think that's a good way to kind of look at it, because we see other couples are not so fortunate with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't do a lot of damage to each other. Most of my contempt for them is really not them. It's the people that put them together again. And then they put them together and you left them. They talked to them a few times, but nothing that was substantial enough to be able to help them, so they were just left to their own devices. And she burnt incense and he went riding his bicycle. I don't know. So there was nothing to help them try to bridge, nothing. So I'm glad that they made it through the 8 weeks, and I'm glad that they didn't torture each other through the process. Yes, there definitely was some incompatible, situations with them. Her level of, I guess, spirituality, if you want to call it that, versus his non-spirituality. That was some issues to try to get over. And I don't know if I'm not going to say flaky, but when you quit your job and you don't have another job and you just say, I don't know, the energy led you to do it. I don't know. I don't know what's the word for that.
Well, she was going to pursue whatever. I don't presume that she was penniless when she did that, but we don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of it. And I do, like I said, I think she's probably a pretty resourceful person, and I bet you she didn't fall flat on her face.
I hope she didn't. She got some married at first sight checks coming, so
which probably is not much. But also, sometimes we speak on this, the love language difference, what I think was a big deal too, and Juan's lack of physical attraction to her, or maybe it wasn't even we've talked about this as well. Yeah. I don't know that he didn't find her attractive. I just feel like objectively attractive. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just feel like there was no chemistry between the two of them, or at least there was none perceived from his end. Yeah. Which ultimately bled onto her, where she wasn't showing any chemistry type vibes for him either after the first few weeks.
She said that she was, but she saw
initially I think she was. They were a lot more touchy at the beginning.
And he pulled back, and so she didn't have a choice but to pull back herself. He left that, so she followed suit, in effort to try to protect, I believe, her own emotions, her own heart. So I get it. It's human, and why he wasn't feeling her, I guess it's as good as mine. I mean, I can come up with maybe like a good 5 or 6 of them right off the rip. Yeah. But is it true? Could be.
Yeah. But I mean, that was probably another hurdle. Yeah. Because, I mean, just like you said, they're human. Yeah. And I think sometimes if you succumb to that physicalness, let's just say they were the other couple that consummated the marriage, and they had a good physical chemistry with one another. Yeah. Those things that are actually incompatible, like that spirituality thing, it may have taken a back seat for the temporary moment of them just being in this lustful type of relationship, and then it comes crashing down here after Married at First Sight is over. Yeah. So I guess for Carla's sake especially, I'm glad that element wasn't there. I'm glad that Juan did pull back and look at the situation in its totality and say, wait a minute, we're not that compatible. Let's see what's to this.
Yeah, but okay. I'm not sure what criteria the experts use to put them together, but let's just say they matched on 7 out of 10 categories. So I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that there was enough for them to say, okay, they should be okay together or make it together. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, compatibility, no, however it goes. But Juan was saying that he just wasn't feeling it, and then of course Pastor Cal said, well, you as a husband, you really, as a man, you really can't be, led by your feelings. Of course, I'm paraphrasing what he's saying, but that's what it kind of boiled down to. You just can't be as a husband, you just can't be led by your feelings, because one day you're gonna feel hot, one day you're gonna feel cold, but you're still gonna have to stay consistent within the commitment that you made. And so,
but in a brand new situation with somebody that you don't know, I guess on the one hand, yes, I can understand that it's so new and it's such a weird situation that you may not feel things, but I think you would want to have some level of chemistry with the person, and over 8 weeks of time, you will want to know that was there, because you wouldn't want to risk that you'd never get there. And if you are going to proceed like what it feels like you just described here, it just feels very contractual and not based upon, I don't know, know what, and y'all can tell me if this is a woman thing or I don't really know, but you don't want something to feel like it's a contract and you're doing it because it's written down on paper and signed in ink. Like, you know, you want there to be some feeling behind it. You want there to be some feeling all intertwined in that thing so that it means something to you to connect. Like, it's hard for me to listen to someone say, well, this isn't about your feelings. Isn't it? Isn't it to some extent about your feelings? I'm not saying the entirety of it is about your feelings. And sure, commitment is there, but you need both, I think, for it to be effective. Y'all let me know if you think I'm wrong.
I think both can be there, but to place every bit of everything upon how you feel.
I don't think he did that.
He didn't really try. So he was being led by his feelings. She was asking, hey, can we hold hands? Because I am a physical touch person. We ain't got to be all over one another. But can you meet me, you know, with just the smallest
And what was his
something.
response? He said it was hard to feel like anything was organic, right? Wasn't that what he said?
Yeah. So no, I don't know. I can't subscribe to, you know, that. That's saying to me that I am being led by my feelings. I don't care what you need. So, you know, organic, unorganic, or whatever the case may be. I don't care what you're saying that your love language is and what I don't care.
Well, let me ask. Can I ask you a question? Like, what if it so if my love language is hand holding, like Carla's, right? Whatever. And I then get the sense that you're only holding my hand, like, just as a matter of, she said she wanted this, I don't want to do it at all. Now I'm going to hold her hand, and it feels like you're just doing it just because. I don't like that feeling. I wouldn't like that.
I get what you're saying, but I do think that going to the next level, you do want that person to like, oh, I want you to do it because you want to do it, right? But in the beginning, can you do it just because I asked you to?
Okay,
you know?
But so if you fake it till you make it,
No,
and then
I'm not faking it, but do you care enough? Because we all have needs. We all have needs, and if a partner is expressing a need, then who else are they supposed to go to get it? You're in a marriage together.
I agree. I just feel like they have to get there jointly because, again, I don't want you to fake it until you make it with me. You know what I mean? I want you to make it first and then do those things, because if I perceive off of you that you're just going through the motions, it's going to ruin the whole thing for me. Now, forget the handhold. You know, like, I don't want that anymore because you don't want it. You're just doing it to, you know, satisfy the touch that I need. There's no feeling in that. I wouldn't like that. Maybe I'm being too girly. I don't know. I'm not usually, but that's how I feel. Like, ladies and guys, if you're on watching, let us know. It's hard, I think, to.
I think. What would that have done for Carla if she was like, okay, he cares enough to try?
Okay, but what about
for him? You don't know how that would have altered some of his feelings because he tried. We don't know that. But we know it didn't.
But what
because
if,
he didn't try.
But what if he does and she gets lured in? What if she's not perceptive? I think she's very perceptive. But what if she's not? What if she's not perceptive enough to understand that he's doing this just because he's going through the motions, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. All the while, this is building her feelings up, but not his, because he feels like nothing is there's no feeling behind it. I'm just doing this because she said she wanted it. I don't care.
I think that's another conversation.
But then it's a decision day that breaks her heart.
Yeah. So you
know what I mean? Like,
you think that holding her hand is just gonna put her on a path? He's in love with me.
No, I mean, you know? I don't take it so literally that it's a handhold. I mean, just going through the motions of the physical touch or the emotional bond that she's saying that she needs, but he's not connected with it, but she is. I see that as problematic because now she's being lured into this state of think potentially. Again, I don't think this would have happened to Carla, but she's potentially being lured into this state of everything is fine. He's falling for me like I'm falling for him, blah, blah, blah. And then we sit there at decision day and he has to go, yeah, it's a no for me because I never really was, like I was doing the things, but I wasn't feeling the things. And so now I'm at this weird state where I've kind of led you on, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would be mad at him. If that is how that went and then he broke her heart at decision day, I would be like, he is a jerk.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a far reach for me. I don't, it just, that she's going to get all worked up because he tried and held her hand.
Again, don't take the handhold that literally. It's not about a handhold. It's about meeting her needs on a superficial level, but him not connecting with it. Now we're both not on the same page.
Okay.
You're someplace that I am not. And now at decision day, me, Juan, I guess, I'm going to have to say, hey, I was faking it until I made it, but I didn't make it. So here we go. I don't like that idea.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I hear you the second or third time you went around it, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that trajectory from getting the A to D. I don't know. It's a B and a C.
You guys let me know if it seems that far-reaching. I definitely feel like it happens all the time. I feel like it just happened with Alan and Madison, and we'll talk about them in a different video, but that's exactly what happened. She was faking it with him, going on the dates, doing the things, kind of leaving him out there, and then if they had made it to decision day, which they obviously did not, it would have been a no for her because she never connected with any of those things, but he did. And to me, that's proof positive right there of how that happens.
A little bit different, though. A little bit different.
It's going to be different, but it's the same principle.
Yeah, because, she was conspiring. And I mean,
no, it's even the basic point.
If she was trying without the betrayal, okay, if she was trying,
right, it would be the
betrayal,
same thing.
Then they got to the decision day, and she looked at me and said, I tried, but this isn't working. It's not going to work.
Then what do you think?
I think he would have still been hurt, but not to the level that he was hurt at.
We're not talking about levels. Yes, it's not the same as the cheating.
He would have been disappointed,
yes,
but I think he would have had the respect for her. That, hey, you left it all out on the field. You tried, and I know you tried.
All right. Well, I will leave it at that because I'm just going to make the same point over and over again. You guys, dang, my voice is going out again. I got like 30 minutes to my voice before it's gone. Let us know what you think. Drop the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys soon.